This will be a brief video on the Lego Emerald Knight train and some modifications I've made on it. As you can see, I added 2 coach cars to the original kit. Here I'll show a few of the modifications. To begin with the tinderbox, I placed some black Legos on top just to cover up the battery box. I thought it looked a little better like that. The on-off switch is underneath the this cover, like this. The second modification I can show you is with the roof that lifts off. I wanted to lift it off and have more of it exposed on one side, and so I did it like this. It lifts off and the windows stay with the roof. Basically what I did was just I traded the Legos that were here with the ones that were above it. So that these would have no studs and the windows would actually stay with the roof. You may notice that in the coach cars I've placed a power function light here and here, and I'll show you how that works later in the video. Each of the 3 coach cars has those in those positions. They are powered by the battery, the power function battery. Okay, we'll put leave that off for now. The second coach car works the same way. Well, actually all 3, as I mentioned, where the roof and the windows come off. This is the second coach car. It also has the power function lights. You'll notice each coach car has this little flat 2x2. It's on top of the power function little light box. The wire comes in through here, and that's where I put the power function box. If you look in here, let's see if I can show you that. That's where some of the wiring is to work the lights. Okay, we'll go to the third one. The third coach car, I turned it into a sleeper car, and I got the idea off of someone on the internet. I can't recall his name, but it has 6 bunks, and holds 6 sleeping Legos. As you can see, I did cut the studs off the top of these 3 pieces, so that the roof would not actually click into place there, and that's how those work. Oh, I made another a slight modification on the back here, and added a platform as such, just to give it a little platform look in the back. And let me show you the other side of the sleeper car, because it's a little different than most. I'm going to turn it around here. On this side, I changed the window configuration to the smaller windows. I thought it would look better like that. But that's how that came out. You can actually see, well, I just dumped some of the figures out, but you can see some of actually see the minifigures through the window there. And we'll turn that back around. back in there like that. Okay. Next, I'll show you how the light works. I've wired it up so that they come on and off using the remote, the left channel here, and I can increase the intensity. Press the stop button and it shuts them off. Doesn't matter which direction I turn it in. One click, setting 1, 2, 3, gets brighter with each turn, and we'll drive it around here. Okay, you can get an idea. Let me show you what each cabin looks like lit up. Sleeper car.
You see that?
Okay, I'll turn them off using the red button and then crank them back up. I decided to put the lights where I did, thinking it would give the most light into the cabin and also allow me to remove the roof easily. At first I was thinking about putting the lights, somehow attach them to the top of the roof, but again I wanted to be able to take the roof off and on without affecting the lights. Here's the center cabin. And the front cabin, similar to the second cabin. Okay. Okay, now a quick explanation on how I actually went about this. The battery, of course, supplies the power to the RF receiver. The RF receiver has the two connections, one going to the motor. The second connection, I used a power function extension, and I clipped it, tossed away the back half, and then the front half that's connected, the four conductors, I took 3 of them, the sort of the positive, the negative, and the ground, and wired them into a stereo mini cable. The stereo mini cable I soldered in here. It feeds out and goes underneath the tender, underneath the battery, and I had it come out. I removed one of the bricks and sort of altered the configuration here. It comes out under the tender here to a stereo mini connector. I wanted it to be easy to engage, disengage the each car. So each car has a female stereo connector at one end, and at the tail end, if you will, is a stereo mini male connector. And again, this one, you can see if I can zoom in on that. You'll see the female connector there. Come around, just connect it here. It's a little difficult doing with one hand and holding a camera. Again, the stereo mini here, stereo mini male to the stereo mini female. And what I did in each cabin is, if you start, let's say, with the stereo mini female connector, I soldered basically 2 wires out of that. One going to the power function lights, again the little the little 2x2 brick sits here for the power function lights. It feeds the one light here and the one light here. It's soldered to the female connector. The wire for this light is run underneath the seats. In addition to that, this Stereo Mini male connector, that wire travels also underneath the seats, and it's wired into the female connector. That way I could continue the power to the next cabin and then to the next and to the next. So that's how I solved that, or came about a solution for that. I'm going to connect it all back and let you see it one more time. If I remove the top, you can see what I was referring to. The battery cable goes up here to the IR receiver. The IR receiver has the two connections, one for the motor, the other one for the lights. I actually have two connections here on the lights, one going to the front lights, the other one going to this extension cable, which I clipped and then soldered the Stereo Mini cable to it, which runs back. And it doesn't actually go underneath the tender, it goes just under the battery, under this Lego ledge here. And then the battery actually rests on it. But I laid the cable flat so that the battery would go down as far as possible. It just barely sits higher than normal. And then the Stereo Mini cable comes out the rear here. And again, I moved some of the Lego plates around so that it would just have enough room to come out. And the Stereo Mini connection is here into a female Stereo Mini. What I did with the female connector here is I used some JB Weld and glued it basically to a 2x2 plate that's black, and then just clip that. There's another one. You can see some of the JB Weld. I thought about trying to shorten this cable. It's the for the light that hangs close to this end. I just haven't gotten to that yet. What I did back on this one was just cable tied it, and then it hangs like that. This one I didn't need to extend the Stereo Mini connection to the rear, since it's the last cable, or the last coach car. So it's a little cleaner connection.